I was sketching blueprints, lost in the precise angles and measurements, when my gaze drifted across the street. Elara's front door. It was wide open. Not ajar, not slightly ajar, wide open. Like an invitation. Or a dare. It shouldn't have bothered me. People are quirky, right? But it did. It felt wrong. What would you do if your neighbor's door was always open? We moved into this neighborhood 3 years ago. Anna, my wife, a doctor, loved the quiet streets, the good schools. I, an architect, appreciated the uniform aesthetic, the sense of order. It was perfect. Or so we thought. We unpacked, decorated, and Rex, our German shepherd, immediately started patrolling the perimeter. Everything felt safe. Until Elara moved in. And the door. Evening. Rex and I were on our usual walk. The air was crisp, the streetlights casting long shadows. And there it was again. Elara's door. Still open. Rex stopped dead in his tracks, a low growl rumbling in his chest. He wouldn't budge. He just stared at the opening, hackles raised. Dogs know things we don't they? It's a primal instinct, a warning system we've lost touch with. Elara? I called out, trying to sound casual. A muffled voice responded from inside. Just enjoying the breeze. She said. It sounded off. Distant. Like she was speaking through a layer of cotton. I couldn't quite place it, but something about the tone sent a shiver down my spine. It wasn't a friendly, welcoming voice. It was empty. Over dinner, I told Anna about the open door, Rex's reaction, the strange voice. She dismissed it with a wave of her hand. She's an artist, Mark. Eccentric. Probably just forgets to close it. Anna is pragmatic, a scientist. She needs logic, evidence. I wanted to believe her, but a knot of unease was tightening in my stomach. Is he overreacting? Or is something truly wrong? The next day, I made a point of looking. And there it was. Open. Again. No signs of life. No movement inside. Just open. It wasn't just open, it was waiting. Like a mouth, silently anticipating something. I started to feel like I was being watched, even though I couldn't see anyone. The feeling was subtle, but persistent. Anna mentioned something unsettling. A string of minor incidents in the neighboring town, Oakhaven. Reports of people feeling watched, items moved inside their homes, a general sense of unease. The police dismissed it as paranoia, but Anna, being a doctor, heard the fear in her patients' voices. This wasn't just about Elara's door anymore. I did some digging online. Elara had only recently inherited the house from a reclusive relative, a Dr. Alistair Finch. The articles were sparse, mostly local news snippets about a private practitioner who kept to himself. But there was a recurring phrase, unconventional methods. What secrets were hidden within those walls? I tried to casually ask Elara about her family when I saw her tending her garden. She froze, her smile vanishing. My family is private, she said, her voice tight. She quickly changed the subject, avoiding eye contact. Her reaction said it all something was definitely being hidden. Something she didn't want anyone to know. Night. Rex absolutely refused to go near Elara's house. He pulled violently on the leash, whimpering. As we walked past, I heard it. A strange, rhythmic thumping sound coming from inside. It wasn't loud, but it was persistent, unsettling. It sounded mechanical. That sound. It was unlike anything had ever heard. I told Anna I was going to check on Elara, just to make sure everything was all right. It was a lie. I needed to know what was going on. I needed to see inside. I knew I shouldn't go, but I had to. Anna looked at me, concern etched on her face. She didn't try to stop me. She knew me too well. I approached the house. The thumping stopped. Silence. An oppressive, suffocating silence. I called out to Elara again. Elara? Are you okay? No response. Just the chirping of crickets and the pounding of my own heart. The silence was deafening. I reached for the doorknob. It turned. Unlocked. I hesitated. This felt wrong. A violation. But the curiosity, the growing dread, overwhelmed my hesitation. I took a deep breath and stepped inside. He crossed the line, and there was no turning back. The house was eerily clean, almost sterile. Dustless surfaces, perfectly arranged furniture. It felt wrong. Empty. And then I smelled it. A faint, metallic smell. Like blood. But not fresh blood. Old, dried blood. It wasn't just clean, it was too clean. I found a room filled with Elara's artwork. Disturbing, abstract paintings. Distorted figures, unsettling landscapes. Faces contorted in agony. Limbs twisted at unnatural angles. It was a window into a twisted mind, a mind consumed by something dark and disturbing. Her art was a window into a twisted mind. Then I heard a noise upstairs. Slow, deliberate footsteps. Someone was walking around. Someone was upstairs, and they knew he was there. My heart hammered against my ribs. I held my breath, listening intently. Each creak of the floorboards sent a jolt of fear through my body. I cautiously ascended the stairs. Each step felt like an eternity, the wood groaning under my weight. The footsteps stopped. Silence. I reached the top of the stairs and paused, scanning the hallway. The air was thick with tension. Each step felt like an eternity. At the end of the hallway, a locked door. The metallic smell was stronger here, almost overpowering. It clung to the back of my throat, making me gag. I knew, with a sickening certainty, that whatever was behind that door was the source of the smell. Behind that door lay the truth. I tried the handle. Locked. I braced myself and forced the door open. The wood splintered, the lock snapping with a loud crack. What he found behind that door would haunt him forever. The room was bathed in a sickly green light. The room was a makeshift workshop. Tools were laid out on a table: scalpels, saws, drills. Alongside them were strange, organic materials: jars filled with unidentifiable fluids, bundles of hair. I noticed a detailed anatomical drawing of the human body, with specific areas circled in red. This is the kind of detail you only see in medical textbooks, or if you were planning something truly horrific. If you're fascinated by the dark side of the human mind, hit that subscribe button for more explorations into the unsettling. Did you catch that? Subscribe for more dark explorations. I discovered a hidden compartment in the wall, concealed behind a loose panel. Inside, old journals and photographs. The journals were written in a spidery, erratic handwriting. The photographs were disturbing. The journals held the key, but were they ready to unlock the truth? The journals revealed that Elara's ancestor, Dr. Alistair Finch, was a surgeon obsessed with anatomy and body modification. He believed he could perfect the human form through surgical intervention. He performed bizarre experiments on patients, driven by a twisted sense of scientific curiosity. The past was repeating itself. The photographs showed disturbing images of Finch's work. Grotesque alterations to the human form. Limbs elongated, organs rearranged, skin grafted in unnatural patterns. It was a horrifying testament to his madness. These images would change everything. I heard a noise behind me. I turned to see Elara standing in the doorway, her expression blank, her eyes devoid of emotion. She hadn't made a sound. She'd just appeared. She was watching him, and she knew he knew. "I'm continuing my ancestor's work," she said calmly, her voice flat and emotionless. He was a visionary. He understood the potential of the human body. "I'm simply refining his techniques." She wasn't crazy. She was committed. "The thumping you heard?" she continued. "That was me using specialized tools to reshape the human body, to unlock its true potential." She gestured towards a metal table in the center of the room, covered with surgical instruments. The thumping, it was the sound of something being broken. I tried to escape, to get out of the house, to warn Anna. But Elara blocked my path, her body surprisingly strong. A struggle ensued. I pushed, she shoved. We grappled for control, the air thick with fear and desperation. He had to get out, before it was too late. I managed to break free and ran downstairs, Elara pursuing me. She moved with an unnatural grace, her footsteps silent on the wooden floor. The house had become a labyrinth of terror, every hallway a potential dead end, every shadow a lurking threat. I grabbed my phone and frantically tried to call Anna, to explain what was happening. The connection was weak and distorted, the signal fading in and out. "Anna, help Elara." My voice was barely a whisper. He needed to warn Anna, but could she hear him? Elara cornered me in the living room. She revealed a hidden room behind a bookcase, a room I hadn't noticed before. She smiled, a chilling, unsettling smile. This wasn't just a workshop, it was a torture chamber. The hidden room was a fully equipped operating theater, complete with surgical instruments, restraints, and a stainless steel table. The air was thick with the metallic smell of blood. It was a scene straight out of a nightmare. I discovered evidence that Elara had been holding people captive, experimenting on them. Restraints, medical records, and personal belongings. She wasn't just experimenting. She was torturing. Suddenly, Anna burst through the front door, alerted by my fragmented phone call. She confronted Elara, her eyes blazing with fury. A struggle between Anna and Elara ensued. Anna, a trained doctor, fought back with surprising ferocity, using her medical knowledge to defend herself. I managed to subdue Elara, pinning her to the ground. But not before she revealed a chilling final detail. She'd been planning this for years, driven by a twisted sense of artistic purpose. She was beyond reason, beyond redemption. The police arrived and took Elara into custody. The house was sealed off as a crime scene, a monument to madness and depravity. The nightmare was over, but the scars would remain. Anna and I are left to grapple with the trauma of what we've experienced. Rex is still visibly shaken, refusing to enter the house across the street. They would never look at their neighborhood the same way again. I look across the street at Elara's house, now dark and silent. But then I notice something. A single flower blooming in her garden. A strange, mutated hybrid, unlike anything I've ever seen. Even in the darkness, something was still growing. Sometimes, I wonder if I should have just minded my own business. Was my curiosity what led to this horror? Was it better to remain ignorant, to live in blissful denial? Sometimes, ignorance is bliss. Would you have intervened? Let me know in the comments. The door may be closed, but the darkness remains. If you enjoyed this descent into psychological horror, hit that like button and share this video with anyone who loves a good scare. Seriously, who thinks Elara was justified in her art? Let's discuss. Like, share, and let's debate. What do you think?